Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery putting together another quick video on some recently anodized knives that have just come in. Super excited to have had the opportunity to pick up a couple of the new Reate T1000 version 2s. That are these three big bad boys here. And then I threw a couple T6000s in as well, just so you could kind of see some of the additional work that I've been doing on some of these. So wanted to give everybody a little sneak peek of what's out there. The T1000 version 2s have come out in a limited run. They've got a titanium with zirconium hardware, a black titanium with crystal hardware, and then they have a full titanium and titanium. Got a couple of those down in the workshop, haven't worked on those quite yet. Unfortunately, I really missed the boat on these crystal ones. I only picked up one, and as you can see, the crystal just pops when you hit it with the color. Once you treat it, remove that PVD coating, get everything all taken care of. These things are just stunners. So unfortunately I missed the boat on the crystal effect versions. I did only get this one. I do have one other full black version that I will be polishing out the hardware and probably storm treating to give it the pop that it needs there. So let me go ahead and hit the specs on the T1000 real quick. Unfortunately, I do not have the specs from the original handy currently. So this is the second version. Overall length on this is 8.9 inches. Closed length is 5.3 inches with a 3.5 inch blade. The thickness of that blade is 0.236. And of course you are looking at M390 on the blade with a compound grind. You've got that hollow grind and then the flat grind up in the tip. Definitely very, very nice looking. Like I said, zirconium, crystal titanium, and standard titanium on the hardware. The bearings on these are going to be your ceramic. They are a little bit differently done. There's a brass disc that has a single row of bearings in it. And then of course you do have the whole gear setup that allows that pin lock that is the secondary lock on this to operate correctly. If you are not mechanically inclined, I do not recommend taking this knife fully apart. It's taken me quite a while to get used to putting them back together, but I'm finally there. So it only takes me about 20 minutes to put just the gears back in and get everything lined up so both sides are pushing the lock out at the same rate and that type of thing. There's a lot to make sure you have precision set up on these, so if you don't set it up, you can have that pin in on one side, out on the other. Just a host of different things. It's a real pain in the butt. So I do not recommend taking these apart. Of course, you do have full titanium handles, steel lock bar insert in the blade, the secondary locking system as discussed, and it is a tip-up right-hand carry. The pocket clip is not interchangeable with the other side or anything like that. Just a beast of a knife. I so love the way this bad boy sounds when she opens up. Give it a push, slide that forward, those pins pull out, drops right in, and you just get that great schwack. The heaviness, the weight of that blade is super nice and really gives it just a great schwack as it opens. Kind of fingerprinted up the crystal here a little bit, trying to give you a good idea. The lighting, I'm still kind of playing with the lighting here. It's a little hard on some of these. The crystal I want super bright, and of course then these polished ones are just nuts because then it's all shiny and glossy. But you've got it on the back spacer as well. Super excited about how these turned out. Just such a fun knife. Centers in really nicely. Lockup is nice and early. Exactly where you want it to be. Pins push in. When they push in flush, you're good. Slide it forward. And they push out. Wow, that black on black's really not showing you. But push out at the same rate and you're good to go. Let's go ahead and hit each one of these separately. I'm going to take the others off so we're not getting a bunch of focus issues. So this is a satin finish, blue-green background with a green-gold bronze storm treatment. Polished out all the screws, did them bronze to match. And of course it is the zirconium on the pivot collars, back spacer, and your slide lock. Really turned out pretty sharp. Push them in, slide that forward, and they pop right out. And then you drop it on the table and it makes all kinds of noise. But these things are just a tank of a knife. Dropped it, pushed it in, but they come right back out. Centered in very nicely. Such a beast of a blade. Schmack. Heavy duty, overbuilt. And of course we've thrown lanyards on everything. This is a blue bronze version, again with the zirconium hardware, pocket clip, back spacer, that kind of thing. And then polished out and went blue on all the screws. Gave this thing a more muted look, but still made it very much your custom look on this great mid-tech factory type knife. That blade is just such a beast. Slide that forward. If you're good, you can flick that open with the hole in the blade, so that is definitely nice. Takes a little practice, but as you can see, it's very doable. Lockup's good there. That blade is centered in nicely. Like I said, I do have a couple, I've got quite a few of the T6000s available as well. I've done a number of different things with these. This is the sky blue storm treatment that's totally polished out. Polished out all the screws and everything. Anodized them bronze. And again, centered in beautifully. Just a killer, man. If you're looking for an overbuilt knife that's not super heavy, the T6000 is a very good choice. I am a fan of really big knives, but holding this T6000, these things are fun as well. Not as big as the 1000, but definitely a fun knife to play with. This has got the polished zirconium on all the hardware on this one. Got a nice green background with a really nice bronze storm treatment on this one. Really just a stunner of a knife. Again, went with bronze on all the screws, and again you can flick it open with that hole in the blade. So just got another super fun knife to play with. I've got quite a few different versions of this one that I've just finished up this one. Another polished out, super storm treated. Really turned out sharp. Blue hardware on this one. Super smooth on the lockup and the unlock with those pins. And then I went with a blue satin that's got a nice bronze stone wash to it. Then bronzed the screws, polished out the pocket clip, and gave it a really nice storm treatment. So just a number of different things that can be done with this knife. Super fun to play with. But as you can see, the T1000 is definitely the beast in comparison. So I've got 6 of the T1000s available. A number of the T6000s are still available. Definitely go to the website if you're interested. These things are just a ton of fun if you're into an overbuilt tank of a knife. These are all posted for sale currently, so please check them out. www.jdcutlery.com. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.